102.2 Auckland.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Time now for The Geek Show, and joining us from thegeekshow.com, 2 3s rather than 2 E's, it is Calvin joining us today via live Skype video, but not as we've seen him before. Hello, Calvin.
Hello, Wammo.
Now, can you explain to everyone, including the radio audience, sort of what you're doing right now there in Geek Show headquarters?
Well, the people on the Ustream channel can't see the real me. They're seeing a real-time 3D construction of me made using a Kinect camera. So at the moment, what they can see just looks like a slightly flickery ordinary camera view from a camera below the screen, which is where my camera is. But the thing is, it's not a real camera shot. It's a virtual camera shot. So I'm about to move a fake camera around. I can zoom it into me, I can move it around, I can zoom out, I can fly it around behind me.
Wow. It's almost like, if people can imagine, like Max Headroom in the 80s.
Yeah, it looks very like Max Headroom in the 80s.
Yeah. So a normal camera view, like on Skype, if you were talking to your mum or whatever, would it's just a 2D image. I mean, it's 3D in that you can tell that they're a real live person and that they're in a real life situation, but it's essentially a 2D image. But what we're seeing from Calvin now is he's able to zoom around to the side of him and see himself on the side, a little bit above, below, and zoom right out to almost like he's on the other side of the room, and then straight back in. Almost you can look up his nose.
You can look at my nose. Aha, you can look at my mouth. Oh, no.
So that's using what we were talking about with Gerard a little bit earlier on the show, was using the Kinect obviously for what its purpose was, for gaming on the Xbox, but now you can plug it into a PC and really start hacking with it. Yeah,
well, the last time I was on, I was talking about Microsoft releasing the SDK for it. And it was supposed to be coming out the day after. And Microsoft made a liar out of me. It took about another 4 weeks to come out.
Yeah.
But the official software development kit is now out in the wild. And I haven't seen much come out from the Xbox hacking community. I think they've all just got the new toys and they're currently noodling away at things. But there's about to be another explosion of Kinect hacks from the official kit. So that's all quite exciting. And there's some really good stuff out there at the moment. I've been playing with toys from the guy who wrote the interface on Dance Central. Now, I don't know if you've played Dance Central on the Xbox yet.
I've got to say, a couple of times. Not so good at it, but yeah.
Have you noticed that the interface on it for selecting songs is one of the best selection interfaces?
Yeah, using the swipe across your body, you bring your whole arm across your body to select.
And it's really positive. You don't like point and wait. It's just like I make a gesture, something happens.
Yeah.
Well, the guy who developed that interface has got a private project of his own. You can get to his stuff on synapseconnect.tumblr.com. And he's written a little application that streams joint information into the music program Ableton Live.
Right.
So this lets you, the demo he gives is making dubstep bass lines where the position of your hands control how wobbly the dubstep goes, if you see what I mean.
So almost like a virtual theremin. In some ways.
Very like a virtual theremin where you can assign anything to it.
That is cool. And for some people, making music and learning music is more of a physical kind of thing, isn't it?
Very much so. There's a huge kinesthetic side to making music, and the idea of combining music and dance in that way, where the height of your hand can be determining the pitch of the note, how far your hand away from your body is can determine how fast the LFO's making the bass line go wob, 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 wob.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. It's really good. You start making music, and instead of, poking at things or clicking a mouse, you suddenly find yourself, you're dancing it out.
Yeah.
Which is great fun.
I feel a future episode of The Geek Show coming on, live creation of something right here on the show using the Kinect.
I'll try and run that. I should be ready for that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Helen's on next week. Oh, and by the way, happy birthday to Miss Behaviour.
Oh, Miss B today. Nice.
Yes, it's her birthday today. And also yesterday, and I'm very proud of this, she just finished L.A. Noire.
Oh, yes. Now, I'm talking about L.A. Noire. What you're using there, the technology is quite similar, isn't it, to how they created the characters in L.A. Noire?
Almost identical. The faces in L.A. Noire were done by capturing moving geometry and then texturing that with video, which is exactly what people are seeing here, only they're seeing it real time.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I'm yet to really sink my teeth into L.A. Noire. I need to really set aside some time for that. But hey, before we go, we do want to talk about Google Plus.
Yeah, that was why we came here today.
Part of the reasons, yeah. Now, we've both been giving Google Plus a go since it was released at the end of last week. Unfortunately, not everyone can get in yet, so they're still rolling out invites. But what are your impressions?
I really like it. To me, it seems like it's doing what sort of Facebook should be doing, which is helping you organize your social contacts. The thing is, Facebook's also bloated to be a million other things. You know, it's the platform for a huge load of games and applications. And you know, even though I blocked Farmville years ago, I still know it's there.
Yeah.
You know that there's people on there playing these pointless games and wasting huge amounts of time. And that's not what these things are really for. And I've been waiting for someone to just make an alternative to Facebook that the way I think of it is Google Plus is to Facebook what Google Docs was to Microsoft Word. Something that's stripped down to all its core basics, the things you really need, not the things that they think everyone will eventually want.
Or even, just use another Google product, it's what Gmail is to Hotmail back in the day as well.
Yeah. Very similar comparison, just stripped down to the important stuff and then do that important stuff really well.
Now,
so
the problem, though, I think Google's reputation for these kinds of things was damaged by the release of Wave and Buzz, which were great tools, but they just weren't right for everyone, and so therefore they didn't catch on. And therefore it might put, say, most people who are on Facebook at the moment might put them off giving it a go.
Yeah, I can understand that, but when they launched, if you follow what Google say over at the Google blogs, when they launched this, they said this is very different. When they launched Wave and Buzz, they were trying out technology platforms. They didn't really have much of a point. They were just new things they could do. They wanted to get them out into the, out there for feedback. Their general theory behind business is launch early and iterate often. You don't learn if things are stuck in the labs. You learn when they're out in public. But what they've said about Google Plus is that this isn't just a lab project. If anything went wrong with Buzz or Wave, they were ready to pull it. It was just, if this screws up, it's just a project. If Google Plus starts showing problems, they're promising that they'll fix them. Yeah. That's kind of the difference. This is a major project. They're going to try and get this right. If people complain about things, they'll fix them. They won't just go, oh well, it's just a little thing. So I think they really are. They're making a serious bid to take traffic away from Facebook. And I think they've got a good chance.
But I think we'll both agree, particularly for what we do with video production, video podcasts and that kind of thing, the Google Hangout, which is the answer to Skype's group video calling, is the killer app. The ability to get people across platforms, across Mac, PC, Linux, wherever you are in the world, to hang out in a video form, up to 10 people.
Absolutely.
Maybe even more,
Multiple person, face-to-face, free video chat is fantastic. I think you're right. That is, certainly for us, that's the big killer app at the moment.
Yeah.
I think circles are going to change just how much time our social networking stuff steals away from us. The problem with Facebook is you get to see everybody's chatter going past, and only about, a tenth of that I'm really interested in. That's mainly my friends. I don't want everyone else to shut up entirely, and I don't want to block them.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to just look at my friends most of the time, or just look at the people in my workplace, and switch everyone else off. And that's what Circles allows you to do. It's really good at that. It allows you to just say, I want the stream that's relevant to me right now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hopefully, as I say, those invites will keep on rolling out to Google+. But, Calvin, in the meantime, we can catch you over at thegeekshow.com, 2 3s rather than 2 E's, where you can also view this as a video once more, and look forward to having you back, and pass on our birthday celebrations to Ms. B over there at Mohawk Studios.
I shall indeed. I'll be making her breakfast in bed as soon as we finish this.
Good stuff.
Been letting her have a lie-in all morning.
Nice one. See you next time.
Okay, see you next time, Mama.